Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel once again. We are here for another review. Now this isn't Dragon Ball SH Figuarts, a little bit something different, something new. We finally got the Chainsaw Man SH Figuarts. Now, of course, I've seen some different reviews, different talks about this figure, and I took him out of the box like I did the trunks. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out after this. I have my own critiques about the figure and a whole thing, so definitely go check that out later. But talking about this figure, this guy right here surprised me. Now I'm looking in the box and I can see that the chainsaw is a little dented. We're gonna have to fix that. A good thing it's soft plastic, but let's open that because I don't want that to be bent permanently like that. But yeah, I mean, this box is amazing. All right, this box is fire. I think it's a better like callback to manga, maybe covers. I haven't read the manga, so I can't say for sure, but I have seen this color scheme on like some of the early manga volumes, I believe, when this was like first being put out and talked about, like way long ago. Man, all right, I've been waiting for this dude, and of course he came in with my total of 4 figures from Ami, and it was nice finally having him. But quick look, those are the accessories. Very skimped on the accessories this time around, but what you're paying for is the quality of this figure. This guy is bonkers. A different level of articulation than I think I've seen in a little bit. But first off, before we do anything, let's fix something's off about this, right? Or my trip. Something looks off about this chainsaw. Is it uneven, or was that just the box scaring me? It must be the box. All right, because they look fine now that I took it out of the box. But that is something to be worried about, because look at how bendy it is. Just be careful. You don't want it to get warped. So I would recommend not leaving it by heat or anything like that. But yeah, I'll take this plastic off actually. That's something I actually think I forgot to do on the trunks review. Like, I was too busy talking about it. But I'm gonna put you in the back, Denji. We got some great things to say about you. All right, stand up, bro. There you go. So, of course, one of the bigger complaints is that he doesn't come with much. Now, being the character that he is, they had 2 options: either go ham on articulation and the chainsaws and how they look, and yeah, that pretty much being it, and giving him a smaller amount of accessories, or focusing on accessories and potentially, you know, driving the price up more, because he's already like, I wanted to say in what, like the 50s, 60s maybe. He's kind of high up there, so I think that would have been a problem in terms of price. But he does come with 2 jaws, I guess you could say, mouth options, which is one with the mouth open with the tongue out and one closed. These do fall out a little easier, so you got to be kind of careful how you're moving the head around, and it might be a better idea to like pose the head how you want and then plug the mouthpiece in. I've noticed that it doesn't just fall out, but it depends like how you're messing with it. So be careful, be notable of that. He does come with a windswept tie type of option. So when he's moving throughout the air, general movements, it is bendy, so it's gonna retain this shape, but I'm sure if you bent it enough, you could form it into your own design of sorts. I would imagine this probably could pop out really easily, but so far, I mean, that tie hasn't fallen off. And of course, he comes with different hand options. So the really cool thing about these hands, really cool thing and really concerning thing, depending on the longevity of how this figure lasts, is the hands are not, you don't just pull them off. You don't, the chainsaw is like a full thing. It is not separated. So what you have to do is, if I can, take the hand off. Oh gosh, is it deep in there? Oh no, come on, there, that one fell off. But so essentially there are these tiny holes, hole attachments, where you put these hands. Oh, actually, that's a better way to explain it. There's a tiny hole where, oops, these two would conjoin in the middle. So like so. And you can see that it's split on purpose so the chainsaw can keep its effect. And it's actually running all the way through this forearm right here. Really cool effect. I really like that because I was concerned that it was going to be split right here at the wrist and it was going to still be able to turn. They did a really great job with that. I really gotta say. So let me put this back on. All right, so with that, we're back, and here you can tell, yeah, it stays in actually pretty well. They don't really pop off like that. So quickly getting into the design of this figure, because I think that's where I want to start first. Now, the chainsaws have blood on them. Very interesting design choice, as I don't think we, like, I know I'll bring it back to Dragon Ball because that's usually like the most thing I'll cover on this channel, right? Is Dragon Ball related products, Marvel, stuff like that from SHF or whatever. But you don't really see too much blood on like figures at all, which to see it here on this figure, which the anime is like gory, it's got a lot of blood and stuff in it, but I would like to see them throw some blood effects on actual DBZ characters. I mean, DBZ was not afraid. They didn't have, like, they had blood in there, all right? It wasn't until later that blood started being like a problem, you know, because more kids started getting in with the anime and whatnot. But this line is not necessarily just meant for like children. So, you know, I feel like, I think what is it? Let's look on, I have Trunks' box right here. Is there an age on here? I can't see it at the first glance, but I'd imagine this is like, what, 15 and up or something for these figures, because of the hazards and, you know, just the figure itself is not meant to be super, it's meant to be played with, but it's not meant to be like handled like a gripping this and stuff like that. So I'd imagine that it'd be interesting to see like blood be popped up on other Dragon Ball figures. Just one thing to note. But that is a nice detail to have. It is fairly not, I guess, the blotchy, bloody color. It's just kind of a flat red, which isn't too much of a big deal for me. I'm just glad that they kind of did it. The chainsaws actually kind of are spiky too. Be careful with that. But look at this. Look at the design on the, this is what I'm talking about. That jaw is ready to pop out a little bit. But let's look at the design of his head in the back there with the chainsaw handle. All of the little, I don't even know what you call it, gears or neck piece gear. I don't even know what that is. Looks really cool, really detailed. And I like that polish, that shine. It feels really nice on him too right there. And I think you can get a vague hint of his eye under there. And yeah, this tie is also movable, soft plastic. And the folds and stuff on the shirt look amazing, you know? Everything kind of just comes together with the figure. Even on the back, they keep that detail and the tucked in look. It's great. There you go. Yeah, overall nice, very well detailed. I'll get into this a little bit more when we talk about the shoes, like articulation, but this surprised me. It did surprise me with this. But yeah, let's get into the articulation. So with this, you can get into a T-pose, no problem. Of course, you've got to, you know, adjust the blades to kind of align better. And you notice they are on a ball peg here, so be careful with that. It's worked out so well for mine. I haven't had any pegs falling out or breaking, but I would be careful with that, as I'm not sure how big the ball peg at the end of these are, how thin, how strong they are. You know, they seem about your average ball peg, so be careful. But I've heard he does have really good range of motion just overall. And I mean, look at the shoulder options here. I don't know how well his butterfly joint is, but we can take a look here. And honestly, he does a pretty good crossover, no problem. There you go. And getting into the head and stuff like that, he's got about your average articulation. Oops, there goes the face. And there you go for the back. Of course, this handle is gonna stop you at some point potentially, or maybe just this cutoff right here actually. And that's without the head, or the mouthpiece I should say. With the mouthpiece, let's see how far down he can go. I'm gonna hold it. There we go. That's about as far down as he can go. And of course the neck is then blocked off by the collar, so cannot go any further than that. As for the ab crunch, that is about as far as he can go back. And that's trying not to use the bottom half of it. And let's see, forward. Not too bad. Not too bad. That is pretty good. One thing I don't like that they put this here. They couldn't find anywhere else to put this trademark stuff on. I mean, like the bottom of the shoe. It ruins it, because I mean, he's gonna use that ab crunch, so it's gonna pop out. And I would have liked if they would have put that copyright stuff somewhere else. Notably, his lower half right here is a little bit of soft plastic. I can squeeze it. You can see that reaction there. I really like this guy. He's overall really cool. I am curious to see how they do characters like Aki later, or Makima, and other maybe variations of characters in the future. I've not seen the manga, so as far as I know, you know, there could be some other variations of like Chainsawman, Denji, right? But I haven't seen anything so far yet. But yeah, I think that's really cool, and I would love to see them do this more with some other figures. Talking about the back articulation, thankfully, listen, I love when they give you this range of motion, like, and it's soft plastic. Look at that. What prompted Tamashii to do this? Okay, soft plastic, and the flap is not like blocking it entirely. Come on, man. This is great. I absolutely love it. I don't know what other lines can benefit from this right now, but they need to start trying, because wow. Could you imagine if like Beast Gohan had something like this too, with the flap being more rubbery material, and he could actually get his leg back like this without having the flap fully like covering the side of his butt cheek? It would be so good for that range of motion, because I hate figures that can't do this. This should be like something common. If the 2.0s can even get their leg back there, why can't a 3.0? It doesn't make sense, right? Like, look at that. And I have them on hand because I was just doing Trunks review, but that's just bonkers to me. So 100%, Tamashii did work here. Not only soft plastic here, soft plastic here, soft plastic here, soft plastic here, soft plastic here. This figure is just like top notch. And I can see why it came with less accessories, because they really did a great job with this figure. The articulation is insane. The detail is insane. The material, I love it. I love that they went with that. It's great overall. But hopping back into articulation, yes, he can get his leg up and back even higher than the front. I would potentially, no. He can get his leg just as high. All right, that's bonkers to me. I love it, man. I love it. Get that 90 degrees and more. All right, now here's the really cool thing. So I was worried about an ankle swivel because there was no dedicated swivel point right here, right? This shoe is so flexible. All right, I've never seen them do this so far in the time that I've been collecting SHF, but it just, the range is there despite not having a dedicated ankle swivel, and I love that. It's amazing. Like, I can't believe it. And I would love to see this continue, not even just for the Chainsaw Man line. It's just so great, you know? And going back into the articulation of the arms, of course, you're gonna have to really like be careful and play around with the arms a bit to get used to it. You know, which way is the best way to get the articulation out of this arm without bumping this or messing the pig up. So, you know, it can go about 90 degrees, but it can't really be stressed too much. It can't go, like if you do that, you can go down, you know, and you can really mess with it. That's the benefit of having it as a ball peg here. So you really can get a lot of range, and it just depends on the motion that you choose to go with it. So like I said, 90 degrees here, but of course if I do it differently like that, I can get it more, which is great. So yeah, I think just keep that in mind when you're messing with the figure. It's all about angles and how you're gonna use those angles to your advantage. And there it goes, it finally popped out. With that, we can just see how well this one would stay. And if I pop it in, oh, come on, come on. And it's so tiny. There we go. And while I'm at it, let's change the jaw so you can see it here in action. Yeah, there you go. There's the big boy. That's crazy. Great figure, man. I have nothing but great things to say about this guy. Compared to Trunks, this guy is like near perfect for me. I don't think I have anything I would do right now to change him, just because I still can't believe that from this portion down, it's just all soft plastic, and it just works so well. Like, that's phenomenal. And of course, he can get pretty well with the splits. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, he can get pretty well with the splits, and it's just wow. I have nothing more to really say about this guy other than he is phenomenal. Just in everything so far I've seen with him, the figure is just incredible. So what would I rate this out of 10? I'd probably give it like a solid 9 out of 10. And I mean, that one missing point for me is probably the accessories mixed in with maybe the arms and the blood effect of it. Probably could have been a little bit better. I know that's a small nitpick, but I think the arms are just concerning for the future, because I feel like if you drop him, right, it's like all over because of that ball peg being there, and if it snaps, it's over. And maybe I would like to see Tamashii maybe have included this additional ball peg as just an extra, here you go, in case of an accident, like Amazing Yamaguchi does. Every figure that I've gotten so far, like even the older ones like All Might, Todoroki, even the new ones like Endeavor, they've all had, you know, extra like accessory points, like for the attachable effects. They've had extra ones, so that's something I think that Tamashii could get into. For figures like this that are not going to come with much, it doesn't really seem that riskful for them to do. I feel it's not that much extra plastic to print. It's literally just 2 ball pegs. But other than that, I mean, it's great. Let's see. I didn't even check the head. Does this head pop off? Okay. That is the peg hole there, and that is the neck peg. So yeah, I mean, I don't know about the neck. I don't know if I want to take the neck out, but I'm sure if you wanted to, somebody could eventually make like a custom. But I am thinking that with like characters like Aki, for example, they'll throw in a denji head, maybe the arms, because again, the fact that they put ball pegs here means it's going to be easier to take these arms out, I would imagine. Yeah, I think it's going to be easier to take these arms out and replace them with something later in the future, because I can't imagine Aki nor Makima coming with too much by themselves for that character. Makima probably just hands, extra face plates, and that's about it. They could just make her release like the Spy X Family figures, where it's just that single little box and just hands and faces. Or they could throw in like Pochita and a denji head with one of them, and then a denji head with 2 faceplates or something, and the regular arms. So that's what I can see happening, but we'll see. But with that, I am going to end it here. Let me get Denji back together. Incredible figure. Oh boy, his stuff is falling off. Oh. Okay, this is one thing I'm just gonna have to keep in mind of with mine. These hands he's falling out just a tad easier, but it's not too much of a big deal. So, oh my gosh, you might be hearing that. I'm sorry. But yeah, there you go. There's Denji. Great figure overall. Definitely worth the purchase. And I hope to see more like him in the future. I cannot wait to see how Katana Man performs. I'm deciding whether or not if I want him. This is making me more convinced to get him. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I've got Power on pre-order, and hopefully when we get closer to those dates, I'd love to review her. So with that being said, I'm gonna sign off here. Catch you guys later. Definitely check the Trunks review out and check out any new incoming information, news that we're getting. You know, San Diego Comic-Con is not that far away, so news is gonna be flowing through again, and pre-orders are gonna be flowing again for other stuff that was announced with the World Tour stuff. So be ready. But with that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.